जाओ।
अनबिन जप गुरु गुरु नाऊ। अनबिन जप
गुरु गुरु नाऊ। गुरु मेरे पूजा गुरु गोविंदा। गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्मा गुरु भगवंता। गुरु मेरे पूजा गुरु गोविंदा। गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्मा गुरु भगवंता। गुरु मेरे पूजा गुरु गोविंदा। गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्मा गुरु भगवंता।
गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्मा
गुरु भगवंता। गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्मा गुरु भगवंता।
Sit around everyone and welcome to the 34th night of Bhagavad Gita Yajna, a journey through the wisdom of the Gita taking place across 108 nights and 108 mandirs right here in Guyana. On behalf of this temple, I express my warmest welcome to Pandit Devji, revered Pandits in gathering, members of the Chinmaya Mission Guyana, and members from the various mandirs. We are gathered here tonight as this mandir to delve deeper into the profound teachings of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This extraordinary event is organized by Chinmaya Mission Guyana, and it's a unique opportunity to immerse ourselves in the timeless wisdom of this sacred text. As we prepare for this evening's discourse, I would like to introduce you to no other than Panditji. It is with my distinct honor to introduce Pandit Devji, who was born in Canada with roots in Guyana. He completed the Vedanta course in Trinidad and Tobago in 2014 with Swami Prakashananda. Initially serving at the Toronto ashram, Pandit Devji has now been posted to serve and teach full-time at Chinmaya Mission Guyana. Chinmaya Mission Guyana is currently conducting a Gyan Yajna for 108 days, as I mentioned, at 108 different mandirs across Guyana, teaching the entire Bhagavad Gita, a few verses each night. They are going to mandirs all across Guyana, from Crabwood Creek in Berbice Quarantine to Essequibo Coast. Tonight being night 34, I will take this opportunity to hand the microphone over to Pandit Devji, who will guide us through the nectar of the Bhagavad Gita tonight.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम्। Hari Om, everyone. Welcome to our 34th night of Bhagavad Gita. And it is a wonderful night. We get to begin the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a, Gita means song. And whenever a great teaching of a guru or an avatar is given to a student, a shishya, in our tradition that is called a song. And it is also, like so many of our scriptures, it is in meter, means we can sing it, we can chant it. A song is that which gives joy. Bhagavad Gita is that teaching which delivers joy to all of us from Sri Krishna, given by Sri Krishna to Arjuna, over his shoulders, really for all of us. So, the last avatar of Bhagavan that everybody knows of, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, had number 3 village in mind when he gave Bhagavad Gita, because he was giving it over the shoulders of Arjuna for the next generations to come. So this is for you, this teaching. And that song or discourse from Sri Krishna to Arjuna took maybe about 3 hours. That was how long that conversation was, because it takes 3 hours to chant Bhagavad Gita. You could chant it faster actually, or more slowly. So about that much time. And over that period of time, Bhagavan Vedavyasa has broken this discourse up into 18 chapters. There are 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, 1-8. And today we begin the 6th chapter. Which one? 6, right. Now the theme of this chapter is meditation. And so some people right away might be happy about that, because meditation is a very interesting thing for many people. How many have tried meditation? It is very, very popular. And this chapter is on meditation. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, has given meditation to the world. Your tradition has given many, many things to the world. Many words also we have given to the world. Meaning to say, in the English language, there are no equivalent words to match with some of the Sanskrit words we have, because they have no idea to match that word. Like karma. Karma, which is very much relevant to what is going on in this section of Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 chapters. Karma means, if you have to find an English word, it means action. But that is a poor translation of karma, because the word invokes a whole principle of karma, which is called the law of karma. So when we say karma, it comes with a whole idea behind it. And in English, when you say the word action, it doesn't come with all of that. Therefore, very wisely, the world has decided instead, because in English we don't have the idea itself, let's just take their word. And so in the English Oxford Dictionary, you will find the word karma. See, it is a lot like the word, see, we have aloo curry, right? What's the English word for curry? Mix of spices. Does that do justice to the meaning? No, they have nothing like that food, so they can't have any word. If they don't have the thing, they won't have the word, correct? They don't have anything like curry, so they have to just use our word because they don't have it. So if you want to start seeing all the things that your tradition has contributed to the world of others, you just have to start there itself. What all words have they taken? And it's a long list. Long list. Many times you hear in the news the word pundit. This is a great economics pundit. Pundit is their word? They didn't have that idea. So like there's a long, long list there, and that's not our topic today. But my point is, meditation is also something that we offered the world. You should feel proud of the things that are unique about you, that you brought to this rest of humanity to benefit from. Now, what is meditation and what is not meditation, and how to practice it, and where it falls in our spiritual journey, and all these types of things are going to be answered by Bhagavan. One thing can be taken away right off the bat. It's coming in the 6th chapter, not in chapter 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It means lots has been said already before this topic has been introduced. And the reason for that is because meditation is the ultimate sadhana, final sadhana. It is to be practiced after all preparatory stages have been completed. If you were to sign up for some online meditation classes today, and you had not done or even heard of anything like karma yoga and things that have come in the past already in Bhagavad Gita, that meditation class would not be this type of meditation being described in Bhagavad Gita. That would amount to stress relief. What passes as meditation out in the world, see, you might have already seen this, and they're prescribing meditation now as a way to treat illness. Doctors are prescribing mental illness, physical illness, and many times they call it mindfulness. You might have heard that word. So that is what's out there. That's not what the topic of Bhagavad Gita is. That is what people come with already. You sit in one place, you pay attention to your breath. You do that for 20 minutes. And when your mind runs, you come back and focus on your breath. And this makes up a big part of what is called mindfulness. And they have measured and seen effects in the brain, and it calms the brain down and makes you more alert and all types of things. It has lots of benefits, very good. But that is not what is being given here. Not stress relief. The meditation that is being described and prescribed for the advanced sadhaka is one that will change one's very state. See, after you sit and do some mindfulness practice, whatever it might be, right? Some people light a flame and they just stare at the flame. Some people tell themselves things called affirmations. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Then tell themselves, they look in the mirror and say, you can do it. They have ways of visualizing. All kinds of things fall under this topic. That's not Bhagavad Gita, eh? That's what other people are calling meditation. No matter what you do out there, after the meditation is over, whatever practice is, you're still the same person you were before. You really didn't change. You still have the same name, and you still live in the same place, and you still have the same problems, although they have gone away for a little while. You still have the same job, and your outlook on life is the same. But the meditation here in Bhagavad Gita is different. You launch yourself into a new state of being, never to return again. There's something different altogether. So I'm just distinguishing the two types. Okay. Next point about meditation is, and this is a very important thing, we're used to thinking that meditation is like all the other actions we do. But it is not. Meditation is a state of being. What does that mean? A lot like sleep. Not sleep. A lot like sleep. See, let's see today if it happens here. But in many mandirs, if you're a young child and you want good sleep, come to mandir. Why? Because, well, sometimes they have AC running. And then, if your mom is there, she has her hand, she's tapping you like this to the bhajan. Oh, and that calms you down. And you can't get up and move. And then you don't understand anything which is being said there, so your intellect is like confuffled, and you can only stare at the murtis. Here you can stare at the murtis the whole time. So many beautiful murtis are there. Sometimes they don't have that, or they're not facing that direction. For some reason, you decided to face the door, so you could brace. So you can't see the murtis also. So quickly that child goes to sleep. Now, meditation is a lot like that. In which way? When the preparations are made, then sleep happens. When you go home tonight and you want to sleep, if you try this, okay, I'm going to try and sleep. I'll lay my head down on the pillow and I'm going to try and sleep. Are you sleeping yet? No. Okay, try harder. Are you sleeping yet? No. Man, try again. When will I sleep? How much time has passed? Am I doing it effectively or not? I wonder if anybody else at the mandir is also trying. I wonder if they fell asleep. I better tell them I fell asleep first, Try. Can you sleep like that? No. How do we fall asleep? If you just think back. First of all, whatever your routine is your routine. You might wash your face, wash your feet, change your clothes, straighten the sheet. If you use a net, put the net, turn on the fan, open the window, turn off the lights, listen to the frog, whatever your normal routine is. But none of those things make you sleep. Straightening the sheet doesn't make you sleep. It's preparation. And if you prepare things properly, you get sucked into sleep. Correct or not? If you try and sleep, you can't. But if you make the right preparations and you wait, you slip into a different state. That's how sleep happens or not? Well, if you never thought about it, check tonight when you go. Don't check now in satsang, but check tonight when you go home. Right? So in that way, meditation is a different state. You can't become that state. You have to make the right preparations, and that's what all the topic of the chapter will be. All the different preparations that are required outside and inside, means in my own feelings and attitude and understanding, all those preparations need to be made. And when they are made, you slip into a new state of being. And this is what meditation is like. Okay? So that is one common confusion, something that you can hear and think about and later on delve into more and more. Right. So let us now chant the very first verse. Now, so many chapters have passed, and I don't know if the question has risen in your mind, well, what did they say? What would the first 5 chapters say? Do I need to know that to understand this? Well, it is Bhagavad Gita is a systematic teaching, and there's a whole thought flow going on there. But fortunately, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is a masterful teacher. So he finds ways again and again to reiterate without repeating. To put a new stroke that gives more clarity without redoing. Have you ever seen an artist paint or draw? Sometimes they start off and they put a circle. And then have you ever seen, maybe you go online and you watch people draw things? I like to do that. They do that, so draw a circle. And what are they drawing? Are they drawing a donut? Are they drawing a wheel? Are they drawing a UFO? What is it? And when they're done, it's a bunny rabbit. And you can't even see the circle anymore. It means they start here and they go, it means they start with the first stroke, and then they add another stroke, and the picture becomes a little bit more clear. And then another stroke and more clear. Another stroke, and before you know it, you got a whole painting. One stroke at a time. So Lord Krishna has been putting strokes down in Arjuna's mind, giving him a whole new vision of life. And now and then, he goes back and he does an outline of the whole thing like that. And luckily, that now comes here also, with a few poignant Sanskrit words summarizing what we have seen before. So let us chant, and then we'll see what is said there. Everybody is encouraged to chant the name of the Lord. It is an infallible sadhana. It means you do this and it will definitely for sure bless you. But only if you chant the name of the Lord. If you don't chant the name of the Lord and you just sit and watch me chant, like you're watching TV, I will have practiced the infallible sadhana. I will get to leave the mandir having grown and developed and all that, and you would have just watched me develop. But you didn't come here to watch me change. You came here to change yourself, right? So we all must chant. And if you forget to chant, then you can joke the person, hey, chant na, beside you. So nice and loudly we chant the name of the Lord. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Anashrita Karma Bho Karma Karo Anashrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yaha Shri Krishna Sharanam Shri Krishna Sharanam Sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnirnat chakriyah Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama. Okay. Bhagavan now tells the first step to prepare ourselves to slip into that great state of being is what? Karma Yoga. Anashritaha yaha, that person who is not dependent on karma phala. That person who has done their duty, karyam karma, and is not seeking any result. What does all that mean? It means that person, this is basically, in quick summary, what preparation to meditation is and what karma yoga is all about. You would have heard the word karma yoga? Have you heard? Well, Bhagavad Gita is the text which introduces karma yoga to the world. And what is it essentially? First and foremost, if you want to practice karma yoga, and we all need to, a person has to give up laziness. Means to say, we have to find ourselves up and at 'em and at our desk, up and at 'em and at our place of work, our place of study, before time. If we're on time, we're late. And we get there, I forgot my bag, I forgot my phone, I forgot my lunch, I forgot my mind, I forgot what day of the week it is. No. Ready to do my duty. Giving up all laziness and then doing that work conscientiously. Means when I'm done, I don't think I could have done a better job today. Every day like that. And that is step one. If we're not ready to put forth that effort, with no chance of reaching spiritual evolution. This is what is being taught. And that means no running. Some days really hard. You don't want it raining in the morning. You want to sleep. Spiritual evolution is not for that person who doesn't have the willingness to go out and grow and change and develop. Now, to develop such willingness, so many things have been said. Why should I go out and do my duty and slave for other people? People ask. Because I'm only used to doing things for myself. And if I don't have to do something, I won't do it. If I can get someone else to do it. If I could stay home and work from home and get the paycheck, I'll do it. Why go to work and put in the proper effort and do the job well? I just can't wait for Friday. And GIM is Monday again. I don't want to go. In other words, I don't want to go. So this is how all of us work. We go by force to do whatever we have to do, and we don't want to be there, so we can come home and so we can enjoy. So Karma Yoga is flipping that whole thing on the head. I don't want to leave. What do you mean want to go? I don't want to leave my desk, my duty. I mean, I don't want to miss a moment to make a contribution to this world. Why? How come you, O Karma Yogi, are so motivated to help? What's wrong with you? That person has reflected and seen so many things that have been taught. Our Puja Swamiji explained very nicely, because the world has given us everything, we owe everything to the world. Proof that the world has given us every iota of our being is there seen just in your own clothes. There isn't a strand of thread on you right now that the world didn't give you. Correct or not? There isn't a strand of hair also that you have that the world didn't provide for you, because you didn't make your own hair. You eat aloo and chana and all that, and then the hair grows on its own. So you just see, if you work for a company, if you go to town and work for a company, and they give you a company car, and they give you company desk, and company phone, and company travel, can you go there now and set up your own shop in that office? Selling cassava ball, and you use the company car to go and buy the cassava, and you use the company phone to organize and sell it. Can you do that? No. If they have given you everything, you owe your loyalty to serve that company. And if you don't understand that out the door, you're stealing, actually. In the exact same way, if the universe has given us everything, we owe our life to the universe. It doesn't mean you have to stop what you're doing now and go out on the road and do something extra. Please see this. Whatever work you have is called duty, and there's no tradition on the planet, there's no religion on the planet that has brought forth and explained and propounded the concept of duty, karya, karma, like our Sanatana Dharma. And it is there in the ethos. I was there traveling with our Jinaji, and there was one cousin in the family who couldn't come for the wedding. She's a doctor in training. And she turned to the family members and said, well, what to do? I know it's my cousin brother. I know it's happening in our city. I know that everybody wants to see me. You don't see me very much because I'm spending so many hours at the hospital. But what to do is my duty. And everybody's like, oh yeah, true, I understand. Matter finish. Means to say, deep in everybody's mind is reverence for this concept of, well, hey, this is my duty, eh? It comes. Now, that which is there in our ethos comes from Bhagavad Gita. So if you have that in you, that means somewhere going back generations, somebody in your family studied Bhagavad Gita, got that and passed it down to you through the home. And now you're being reintroduced to where they got it from. The idea of duty is another thing we can offer the world. See, right now, take this example. Every child has the right to go and get education, correct? It's their right. Every child has a right to have the teacher teach when they go to school, correct or not? Every child has a right to have the teacher complete the curriculum, correct or not? That's their right as a child in Guyana. Now, if you want to enforce that right and make sure the children of Guyana are learning the whole curriculum while they're in class, can you do anything about that? That's a big, complicated problem, actually. The only way that will ever happen is if the individual doing the teaching does their duty properly, correct? In other words, we get all of our rights, which we love: right to food, right to freedom of religion, right to earn our own wage, right to relax. The taxi man who brought me from the airport told me, I asked him, why you like Guyana? He said, I like Guyana because we have freedom here. If I want to work, I can work. If I want to rest, I can rest. If I want to plant a garden and eat, I can do that too. I'm free. Well, he has the right to do all of that because of what? Because other people are doing their responsibility. All of our rights come because of somebody did their responsibility. To open this mandir on time was a responsibility of somebody, correct? They did it, so we get to enjoy the right of coming to the mandir. Somebody had a responsibility to pay the light bill. So we have light. We have a right to have light, no? There isn't a single right that you enjoy that is not provided to you by somebody doing their responsibility, and you don't know that person. And by virtue of that simple fact, if I have a little responsibility in this world, I must do it because I'm enjoying everybody doing theirs. If your garbage is not piling up in front of your gate, is because somebody is doing their responsibility to go around and pick up, correct? So just out of a sense of justice, a sense of gratitude, I must do my part. And like this, it goes on, and finally somebody realizes, well, I cannot miss a day of duty. I'm robbing this universe if I do that. So, karyam karma karoti yaha, that person who has done their duty and done it well, that person that's the first qualification to doing karma yoga. And we don't think just human beings are doing their duty. Every creature is doing its part to keep this universe running. So I owe my life to the universe. Like that. Then the other half of that verse is quite beautiful. Then it says what? Sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir akriyaha cha. What does it say? That person who can do their duty well, putting the world in front of their mind, the welfare of others in front of their mind, and not being concerned about what will happen. I'm going to do my work. I get joy from doing that. And then let's see about what happens. Whether I get paid or don't get paid, and this, the other thing. That is a secondary thing. I'm not going for that. I'm going for my rationale for showing up every day is not the pay. I was explaining this the other day. I'm not playing the game everybody else is playing. I'm playing a spiritual game. The world is boiling me on this wicket, and I actually have another wicket over there. And I hitting sixes over there of spiritual growth. So my reason for going to work, I look the same as everybody else, but I'm playing a different game. I'm racking up spiritual points. Like that kind of thing. So that person who does it well and all that type of, he is really a sannyasi. He's a renunciate. Sannyasi word is a wonderful word. It means renunciate. Again, is simple, poor translation. Or monk or that type of thing. It means someone who has given up for something greater. And there is formal sannyas. Those who wear orange are sannyasis in our tradition. And this meditation, the qualification for meditation is sannyas. This is what Lord Krishna is saying. But what type of sannyas? Not that type of sannyas where you give up rituals. Or say not just that type of sannyas. Not that type of sannyas where you give up duty. I mean, that is a very elevated thing. But if meditation was just for those types of individuals, how many we have in Guyana? I can count 3. 3 sannyasis we have? Maybe 4? I don't know. You can tell me after. That means to say chapter 6 is for those 3 or 4 people in all of Guyana? Because they're the sannyasis? No. What is meant here, sannyas for the general population, for Gen Pop. What they say for people who are bound, eh? For Gen Pop, this is sannyas for the general population. And what is that? A person who has really dedicated his life to Bhagavan, to this world. That person is the one who is ready. And he goes into a bit more detail. Then what is said next is a beautiful thing. Let us see that. In verse 2. So what did we see? 2 qualifications for being, one basic qualification for entering meditation, is that I have spent a long time doing karma yoga. And having done that well, slowly I develop this ability to renounce, which will come again and again. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama,
Yasanyasamiti prayuhu yogam tam vidhi Madhava.
Krishna Sharanam Nama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama,
Yogi bhavati kachana.
Krishna Sharanam Nama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Nama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Okay, Bhagavan now explains. That person, O Pandava, O Arjuna, you please know that that person who has really renounced things in this world, he is a sannyasi, he is called a yogi. You please know that. He is going to be the one who is fit for meditation. Now, as opposed to what? See, this meditation is going to require us to sit and go inside. And if I'm going to do that, then I cannot also have this strong urge that I still have to go finish that, do that, taste that, experience this, protect this other thing, tell that person this other thing. If the mind is doing that sort of operation, how is it going to fearlessly take a journey inside to discover for itself what is there? And not going to be able to do that. So, then I have to tell you something else, right? There are lots and lots of words in this tradition, and many of them give different shades of meaning of the same thing. And if you come to satsang and you hear all those words, you will surely fall asleep. It is called, in every study, there's something called jargon. If you are an engineer, you have your own jargon. If you're into IT, well, when you say mouse and window, you don't mean mouse and window. You mean something altogether different, isn't it? A hard drive is not when you go down in a pothole. A hard drive is something else. A mouse is something else, right? A window is something else. So that's called jargon, technical language. And you cannot operate in any field without setting up your own language and meanings of things. So just like that, in our scriptures, in Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta, there's all kinds of technical terms and they mean all different types of things. And each person should study that. And slowly, when you come to satsang, you hear one new word, another word, you pick up things. But if you want to study it well and systematically, there's a wonderful text called Tattva Bodh. Tattva Bodha, and it gives every critical word and meaning in a systematic way and all that. So, one such set of words describe the fundamental building block of this universe. There's a fundamental thing that makes all things. And you heard these words already. You've heard Satchitananda, Brahman, Atma, absolute reality, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Brahma again. You've heard these words or not? You would have heard them, definitely. You may not have noticed them because they come mixed up with so many other Sanskrit words in a prayer, but they're there. Well, now, what I'm saying is that, see, in this verse, the word yoga is used to mean that person is going to reach the state of yoga. Yoga means, here, meditation. Meditation means, I'm reaching a certain, like I was saying, you slip into a new state of being. And that state of being is none other than Brahman. It's the same as Brahman. Or you say, it is the same as eternity and infinitude. These are big words. But there is a divine truth behind all things in this world. I don't know if on the right morning, in the right moment, you have intuited for yourself, but things are not just plain, boring, inert matter. That is not all that is out there. Deep down in you, and deep down in this universe, there is something indescribably magnificent. And our Shastras, the Rishis, found that, described its significance for human life and how each person can find it for themselves. And our whole tradition is about that, what we call absolute reality. So meditation is to be one with that. That is what it is really. So whether you call it yoga, yoga means uniting with that, or you call it meditation, or you call it state of being, or you call it absolute reality, we're talking about that thing. The fundamental building block. Because of which everything that is beautiful is beautiful. Because of which everything that gives joy gives joy. This is the real mover and shaker, though it doesn't move and it doesn't shake. So to be one with that is to sit and go inside and find it because it's there everywhere. But my eyes don't see anything except for colors and forms. My ears don't hear anything but sound waves. And that too I don't hear all the different waves and see all the different spectrum of light. Those in school will teach you. They will tell you, you don't see all the whole spectrum of light. I can only catch a little glimpse of this universe. But I do have one power, and that is to go inside, and I can go really deep. I can go down to the basic fundamental reality if I go inside. So that is what is being told here. You go to that state of yoga. Who does it? The person who is a sannyasi. And so many words now are used to describe that person. Arukshoho, that person who is desirous to climb up into that state. Karma karanamuchyate yogam. That first thing that has to be done is that person has to do their duties. That we discussed a little bit. Having done that, they become ready to sit in meditation. That meditation, which is called or characterized by what? Shamaha karanam. We chanted this verse? No. We chant a few verses again, and then we'll see. Now that state is being described, And we're getting a glimpse. This is the beginning of the chapter, verse 3. That state is being described. Let us see. Aruruksho Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Arurukshor Munir Pratyam. Arurukshor Munir Yogam. Karma Karanamochyate.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Yogarudhasya tasyaiva shama karanamochyate.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Right. Okay, now Bhagavan tells, as I was saying, the person whose desire is to climb up into that state, first thing he must do is all of his duties. Karma karanamuchyate yogam aruruksho munehe. That contemplative person has to do that. Then, what is it? Having done that now, he becomes able to sit quietly and go inside. This is very important. There's a big connection here. Everybody, I want to spend a minute on this. How is it that going out and doing my duty selflessly for the world, accepting whatever comes, being content with it, getting my joy from the work itself, and the contribution it makes to society and all that type of thing, how is that going to make me calm, quiet, cool, contented, inward looking, and renouncing all the things? Like, how does that happen? How does that lead to what we call, it is in one phrase, purity of mind? So this is a very interesting thing. What happens there is, we start off now, and we may not know it, but it is there, with so many desires inside. So many desires you wouldn't believe. And some of them are for very subtle things. Suppose you come to the mandir and you want to do seva. But when you come, you like to do this specific duty. You like to prepare the arti thali. And today when you come, somebody's already done it. But don't you know this is my job? You want to come here and take my job? I've been coming for so many years. But this is injustice. And what happens there is suddenly somebody feels they lose the point. The point was to come and practice in the gymnasium for the heart, doing something totally for someone else, anonymously. And instead, slowly, what happens is that a desire creeps up like an alligator and grabs that task. And now he wants to use that task to get some kind of personal kickback. And that personal kickback is, well, I did it. This is my job. I have a role here. I am significant. I am important. I make things happen, like that. That's what happens all the time. That shows that even though with the best of intentions we come to do something for someone else, all these desires from inside, they come and they prey on things. If, however, we follow the rules of karma yoga well, which is again characterized by an attitude of selflessness, all that huge amount of desires which we don't even know about, they fall slowly to the background. They don't become a great source of joy. I don't regularly plan to be recognized and all that type of thing. And slowly, what happens over a long period of time is that without even knowing, I have given up that whole thought. I go and I prepare the Arti Thali, and if somebody does it, I feel happy it got done. I grew out of that without even knowing, doing this karma well. So that type of transformation happens in the heart. And that person suddenly, what happens then, is they start to become more sensitive to their own weaknesses. Very interesting thing. You know, the better you are as a driver, the more sensitive you are to mistakes that you make. And if you're a brand new driver, well, you don't know that you cut this person off and you forgot to signal and you drove on the curb and you broke this rule and you ran that light. You don't know. Correct or not? It's those type of drivers outside that are causing mistakes and accidents. But that who's a person who's a really good driver, if they make one little mistake, it rings in their mind, you know, I should know better. And that is not how you're supposed to drive. Correct or not? So similarly, the person who is practicing this type of spirituality, karma yoga, they become more sensitive to their own fallen state. And they know very well that that thing cannot be, I cannot get rid of this problem I have in my heart by doing anything in the world outside. I'm happy with my situation. But the intensity of my desire to go beyond my fallen state goes up, into the point where to not do anything about it is like to have my hand put on a hot tawa, like that. I just need to drop this thing and pursue something higher. They feel like that. So that happens slowly to the personality. That person is what is described as yoga rudaha. He can sit and do something great inside. He doesn't have any need to go and accomplish. He has something to accomplish here at home. He's something to accomplish here. He's grown out of worldliness, like that. That type of person is being described here. That the person is the sannyasi that we're talking about. That is the one that Bhagavan Shri Krishna, that's a description he's giving us, so we can all have it in mind. One day I will also be like that. I want to sit and go over, I mean, right now you may not even know that there are things preying on your heart and causing finitude and sadness. You don't know what's going on inside. But the more that you evolve, the more sensitive you become, and the more you want to go beyond all limitations, like birth and death, etc. Then in the next verse, verse 4 now, what happens? Bhagavan begins to describe, he gives a few more strokes of description of that person. Let us chant 4, 5, and 6 together, and then we'll see. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Yada hi nendriyartheshu na karma svanushasyate. Yada hi nendriyartheshu na karma svanushasyate.
Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudhastadojyate.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
So now, first, the third stroke about meditation. Bhagavan adds that when a person is nendriyarteshu na karmasvanushajjate, when the person is not attracted at all to any type of action outside, he's not drawn by his senses to anything in the world, means that what we just said, yoga rudha, he's able to sit. That person is the one who is fit for meditation. And he adds one more stroke. Sarva sankalpa sannyasi. He has given up all sankalpa. Sankalpa, a word you may or may not have heard, but is a tremendous idea. And another word we have offered to humanity. What is that meaning? Sankalpa it comes up in puja when you put the tulsi leaf in your hand and you put a drop of water and you clasp your hand so and you put it on your left knee. You know? Mamopata samasta duritakshaya dvara shri parameshvara prityartham ityadi, like that. So when you chant that, you're expressing your purpose. It is the most important step in puja. You're expressing why you're doing it. You're telling, here in this place, at this auspicious time, I am going to do this specific puja for this specific purpose. Vidya vinaya sampraptam. To gain wisdom and humility and Ishvara prityartham, to please the Lord. Like that. Guru Prasad, to gain the grace of the Guru. I do my puja for these reasons. That's called sankalpa in puja. What is going on there is you are doing something. You're taking a vow, making a decision, committing or obligating yourself to do something in the world. That is what sankalpa does. We know it as resolution on January 1st. I make up my mind to obligate myself to do something, right? We have all kinds of silly and fancy imagination is another meaning for sankalpa. It's a big word and a lot of time is spent on it in our tradition because it is how we both sink and how we both rise. At some point you have to make up your mind. That will come just now. But this one who goes into meditation, he's given up all sankalpa. It means to say, practically speaking, he did not set an alarm before he sits for puja because I only have 20 minutes and I have to go to town. Before he sits for meditation. I have to go to town, I have to do this other thing because I made a commitment here, there. Not like that. He's going to sit now in meditation, he or she. And how long it takes, it takes. What happens, happens. What doesn't happen, doesn't happen. He's not made any appointment with the future to accomplish anything. This is the kind of state of mind for someone who has to go into meditation. If you're setting an alarm and I'll only do it for this much time, then I'll leave it. That is not called meditation. So these strokes describe nicely who is that person who has to sit and accomplish that. Then, in the most wonderful next couplet of verses, probably one of the most, quoted verses in all of Bhagavad Gita. When somebody asks, hey, what is Bhagavad Gita all about? You can say these two verses. Chapter 6, verse number 5 and 6. This is the main essence of Bhagavad Gita. Suppose somebody, you went to satsang on Bhagavad Gita, what did you learn? Well, I learned the whole thing in two verses. Verse 5 and 6 of chapter 6. What is the real meaning behind? What is the message of Bhagavad Gita? So, see this wonderful couple statements, and they have so many deep meanings and practical meanings for life. Udhred atmanatmanam atmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. It means literally, and then we'll think about it. One should lift himself or herself by themselves. One should not ever put oneself down, degrade oneself. Because, if you want to add, we are our own friend and we only are our own enemy. A wonderful, beautiful, powerful, uplifting idea. I mean, this pulls the rug of anybody who wanted to say, well, I was just going to come and sit here and hopefully Bhagavan will come and help me. Do something for me. Some guru will come and touch me and I'll gain some knowledge. This takes that option off the table. If you are a strong human being inside, a brave human being inside, if you have nerves of steel, when you hear this type of thing, you vibrate with excitement. You mean Bhagavad Gita is like saying like that? But you're speaking my language. Lift myself by myself. That kind of thing. With respect to meditation, what it means is this individual wants to lift himself to a higher state. And gurus can teach Bhagavad Gita and Atman-Jnana from now until the end of the Srishti, the end of the manifestation. And that will not do anything for anybody until the listener makes up their mind to grow. They say you cannot take a horse you can take a horse to water, but you cannot make him. Finally, in the end, the individual has to make up their mind to grow. Right? So one boy said, I had a dream. I heard in satsang you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Then I dreamt about that horse. And I took him to the canal to drink. And when I got there, he turned to me and says, "Can I have the menu?" And I realized he didn't want to drink, he wanted food. I should have taken him to the restaurant. Luckily, there was another horse, and I brought him to the canal to drink. But he also turned to me, and what did he say? "Do you have sparkling water? I don't like this flat." You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So also, we are our own friend and we are our own enemy. Let's add something to that now. Next section of that verse, right? Have you noticed, and this is connected to the other one that we chanted. Actually, I have so many things I want to tell you in such a short time. But you can't say everything. In the process of uplifting ourselves, right? Let's go slowly and get what we can. I should not degrade myself. So two instructions are given. And we're not talking lifting ourselves physically. Like if you grab yourself by the bootstraps. Have you heard that phrase? Lift yourself by your own bootstrap. If you try and lift yourself by your own laces, what will happen? Most of all, you'll trip. You can't lift. You yourself are pushing down in your feet and you can't also lift. So we're not talking physically. One man said, "I'm so tired of walking." So the other man said, "Well, just sit on your own shoulders and walk now, you'll get rest." That doesn't work. You can't lift yourself by yourself physically. What does it mean? It means we have to upgrade ourselves from the inside. And a big part of that, upgrade is a modern word. You upgrade your computer, you upgrade your car. You can't upgrade your family, unfortunately, but you can upgrade things outside. You can upgrade yourself also. But in that regard, you should also never downgrade. Meaning to say, whatever level you're at, you shouldn't engage in any new bad habit or hang out with any bad company and send yourself down. Just if this much alone in this lifetime you weren't to not go down, that's a great accomplishment compared to most people. So 2 things you have to do. In order to want to uplift yourself also, you have to see that I'm not where I want to be. I'm in a fallen state. And it can apply to anything. This is a wonderful verse. I'm not where I want to be in my educational life, in my moral life, in my financial life. I need to upgrade. I make too many compromises. I'm a little corrupt. I want to upgrade. Step number 1, I have recognized where I am. Step number 2, I refuse to go down anymore. Now, but how to go up now? Exactly how do I go up? That in this process, you are your own friend and you are your own enemy. If there are any high school students here, well, usually you have a few enemies in the class and a few friends, right? So and so is the person. An enemy means what? An enemy is one who troubles you, puts obstacles in your path, takes a stick and puts it in your bicycle spokes. That's what an enemy does. He troubles you, right? Well, this Bhagavad Gita is saying you don't have enemies outside. A very big thing. You don't have any enemies outside. If your own mind is a friend to you, nobody really can be a problem. I'm telling you, this doesn't leave any room for victimization. And the proof of it like this. If you can't get up in the morning and you haven't made up your mind to get up early, it doesn't matter what anybody does, correct? But once you make up your mind to get up in the morning, you realize the whole world is trying to help. The birds are chirping, grandmother and Chachi and Chacha and Nana in the house, they're waking you up. The world is awake, the cars have started, the world is trying to wake you up. The world is ready to help. Have you heard God helps those who help themselves? When you make up your mind to do something and you get out of your own way, the world suddenly becomes your friend. And when you're ready to blame and you're looking for an excuse and all that kind of thing, you see many obstacles. This is a principle of growth. Everybody has to absorb that and put it in their heart. Okay. Then in the other verse that we chanted, a wonderful, see so many things to say, but the other thing I want to tell you, right? Lord Krishna adds, the one who has conquered oneself alone has made themselves into a friend. Mastered one's own mind, they have made a friend of themselves. And the person who is not jitaha, not mastered their own self, they stand in front of themselves like an enemy. Very interesting thing. Very, very instructive thing also. People ask, why do I have to have self-control? Why do I have to put effort to keep my mind here? Because if you don't, you will stand in front of yourself like an enemy later on. Like that. The other day we had gone to satsang. I was just listening, sitting there. It was a puja. Beside me was a mom who had given her child the phone to keep them quiet. Like, you know how you give someone a tablet to put them asleep? But she gave him a tablet to put the child asleep, but a physical tablet, right? So she's not interested in the child absorbing what's going on there. She just doesn't want to have to deal with the child. So I'm at the back, the child's in the front, and the mom is beside. So I'm here, I can see everything that the child's doing on the phone. And for 45 minutes straight, this she must have been 3 years old, is scrolling reels on YouTube like that. Adult reels. The kind of thing an adult will look at. And deciding, I want to look at this. Nope, not this one. I want to look at this. Nope, not this one. So, and the mom doesn't think, she thinks she's doing a great job actually, because her child's quiet. She thinks she's doing a great job, and the other one is sitting there trying to hold them, trying to pay attention, do this, that. My child's sitting quiet. But she doesn't realize that she has just sent that child back in time. You have to come back again and have another birth to try and relearn what it is to be a human being. I'll tell you why. For the same principle, to let the mind run in all directions where it wants, how it wants, to do whatever it wants, like that. It's to not show any mastery over the mind. Just do what you want, read what you want, look what you want, sleep when you want, talk when you want, scroll as long as you want. It doesn't matter. And everything in society invites that. You could have your eyes on the road, or you could play some music. You could look what's going on there. You can look into somebody's house. You can see the sign. You can have a conversation. You can drink something. You can eat something. You can talk. You can, all at the same time. Correct? And everything about society is just send your mind in all directions. And when you do, pay me something to do it. Right? What happens to such a person who has not mastered themselves is later on in life, when they want to accomplish something, their mind sits there as an enemy in front of them. And nah, you can't get up early this morning. I don't want you to. And if you start that at 3 years old, while the brain is being formed, and you teach the child, how do you sit quietly? You just send your mind in all directions. And you do it with an unnatural device, which is stimulating you far more than nature will. That child can't even sit still. I would like to scroll this satsang. I can't sit here and listen. Show me something else quickly. That mind, that child can't accomplish anything anymore. Whereas childhood should have been spent learning to bring your attention slowly to what's here. By playing games. If you give a child a game where they have to focus their mind and land that foot on this step before they can kick the ball at that point, that child will do it perfectly. He just needs somewhere to apply himself. But we toss all that other thing out the window. So here, take this phone and sit quiet. Later on, that child will be an enemy to himself, an enemy to the home, an enemy to society. And they did it where? You want to see the joke? Where were they trained to do that? At the mandir they were trained. Then people say, well, I don't know, I've been going mandir since I was small. I've been bringing this child since... But no, you weren't, but you put them on YouTube at mandir. So you played a big joke on yourself also. All of the principle of why we should be self-controlled is explained right here. So you don't become an enemy in front of your own self, you become a friend. So when you say, get up at the first alarm, you get up. Because for the last 25 years, you've been slowly mastering your mind. Now you can accomplish, the world is your oyster. You see? So who makes their mind a friend? Somebody who has slowly mastered it. And the example I gave you, keep your mind where your hands are at this moment. You don't let it run everywhere. And there are many ways to do that. And if you don't do that, well, you have just created an enemy out of yourself. Be sure one day when you can't get up is because I scrolled too much as a child. It's a big experiment, eh? No other generation has ever done what we're doing. No child has ever experienced this before. So we don't know what's going to happen. We're sitting here on the floor in Guyana, thinking we get the traditional thing, it will lead to the traditional results. Nah. At the same time, in the home, we're doing modern things like this. And then everybody in 10 years is going to be surprised. They grew up just like me. Why can't they be disciplined? Why is it such a big deal to get up in the morning? It's coming fast. 10 years goes by like that. So if you can make a resolve right now, this house should be like an ashram, a place where you use your hands and you spend time focused on what you're doing and all that type of thing. Well, then you're creating a prime minister or a great person or a great yogi. And the phone has a time when we use it, and then we close it and you put it aside. And when you use it in a planned way. Okay, I'll spend 10 minutes on this app and 10 minutes on that app, like that. Otherwise, and no phone until 18. When did you get your first phone, adults? What happened? Did you survive without it? You can have a phone in the house and let the child use it and return it to you. You know, I liked you up until the last thing you said. All the youth heard. You were nice, but when you said that last comment, I don't want to see your face anymore. Good thing we're in a different mandir tomorrow. Tomorrow, number 7 Vishnu Mandir at 7 p.m. Number 7, village number 7 Vishnu Mandir, 7 p.m., not 6:30. Pandit Carlos Ji, thank you very, very much. He's not here right now. Pandit Anand for organizing, and all of the sevaks. Tonight has been wonderful. Few quick announcements before we close. On Saturday, March 8th, we are having a fundraiser at the ashram for you to come and enjoy something you can only get at the ashram in Guyana. That is called, listen to this, pizzoti. It's called pizzoti, and it's a mix of pizza and something from Trinidad called pepper roti. A huge roti, which tastes something like our clap roti, but it's stuffed with all kinds of hot pepper and other things inside, and on top of that, they make a pizza. So something fun to come try, and it also raises a little bit of funds for us to do this type of work, buy gas to come and do satsang and all that kind of thing, right? So that's happening at the ashram on Saturday, March 8th at 11 a.m. On Saturday, May 3rd, please, if you can get a bus together and come down to the Gandhi Youth Cricket Grounds for the last night of this 108. After having gone to all the different 107 mandirs, the last day, 108 mandirs, the 109th night, I believe, is at the Gandhi Youth Grounds. It will be a wonderful event to have so many satsangis get together for the conclusion night. 5 p.m. on that Saturday. We have a 3-week Bhagavad Gita camp at the ashram for children. Every day we teach them so many principles of Bhagavad Gita. They don't know they're learning, they learn through fun, right? So you can please send children from over here, and I was telling last night, there's no reason why if a group of children want to come, we can't organize transportation every day to and from the ashram. So that starts mid-July, July 14th to August 1st. And also, Chinmay Mission trains individuals to do this type of teaching work on the path of brahmacharya and to become sannyasis like that. And that is called the Vedanta course. It is happening again this year. It is a 2-year course, very intensive, where you go and you stay at the ashram. You learn from in the morning at 5:30 all day until the evening. You have classes till 8 p.m., sometimes later. From 5:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. you have classes. You study all of the major scriptures in Vedanta. You study in the Sanskrit medium. You go there to learn and invest yourself in study. There's no holidays, there's no breaks, there's no seeing family, there's no leaving the ashram. Swamiji says you can leave, but you can't come back. You just go and live that spiritual life. Why? So you can learn the scriptures. And if you have a bent to live this sort of life, you can teach thereafter. In Chinmay Mission, this is the type of course you have to do this type of seva of teaching. So that course is happening. If you're interested, you just please come speak to one of us. I will tell you about it. You have to be under 30, have a degree, and be unmarried to qualify for that course. If you meet those qualifications and you pass the interview, then you can stay at the ashram for 2 years free. That's how it goes. Classes are going on online. Like this is like this, teaching of our scriptures in English for all different ages. You will find out, you'll see later on, we have classes for 1.5-year-old to 4. Those individuals are like sponges. It's a mommy and me class. So it means a parent comes with the child, we sit in a circle and we do puja, bhajan, yoga, so many stories, ideas that are taught to them, and they absorb everything with shraddha. Great faith gets dwelled in the heart. So that is a new type of thing, I think, in Guyana, and it's a wonderful, and we have a proper curriculum to teach that. Shishu Vihar it is called. Like that, so many different types of classes for all different ages. You can check it out on Facebook. All right. There's a bookstall at the front of the mandir. If anybody's interested to get books for all different ages, you can do that. Now we'll have Aarti and closing prayer, and then we'll hand it back to Pantaji. Please stand. Jai Bhagavad Gita Maya Jai Bhagavad Gita Hariya Kamala Viharini Sundara Supunite Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Karma Sumarma Prakashi Sakti Hara Maya Kama Sakti Hara Tattva Jnana Vikashini Vidya Brahma Para Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Nishala Bhakti Vidayini Nirmala Malahari Maya Nirmala Malahari Raga Dvesha Vidarini Karini Moda Sada Maya Karini Moda Sada Charana Rahasya Pradayini Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Asura Bhava Vinashi Nashini Tamarajani Maya Nashini Tamarajani Sadagunadayani Devi Sadagunadayani Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Samata Tyaga Sikavani Hari Mukhi Bhani Maya Hari Mukhi Bhani Sakala Shastra Ki Swami Sakala Shastra Ki Swami Shruti Mukhi Rani Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Daya Sura Varasave Matu Kripa Maya Matu Kripa Ki Jai Pada Prema Dana Hari Pada Prema Dana Apano Karani Jai Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Jai Bhagavad Gita Jai Bhagavad Gita Hariya Kamala Viharini Kamala Vihari Sundara Supanite Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Om Jai Bhagavad Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudatvajaha Mangalam Pundarikaksham Mangalayatano Harihi Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Vrindavan Bihari Raj Ki Shri Satya Sanatana Dharma Ki Har Har Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Panditji, for that enlightening and inspiring discourse based on chapter 6, sloka 1 to 6 from the Bhagavad Gita. We are truly grateful for your insightful guidance. As we conclude tonight's session, let us carry the wisdom shared with us into our daily lives. Remember, the Bhagavad Gita is not just a book, it's a practical guide to living a fulfilling and meaningful life. We extend our sincere gratitude to Pandit Devji, the members of the Chinmaya Mission Guyana, Revered Pandits in the gathering, members of the various mandirs for joining us today, and for Panditji for sharing his knowledge with us from the sacred pages of the Bhagavad Gita. We also extend our gratitude to the managing committee of this temple, all the participating mandirs, and all the volunteers who have worked tirelessly to make this event a success. The temple also received a donation from Mataji Dato, and by that, we want to extend and pray that the blessings and grace of Bhagavan Sri Krishna be with you always. On behalf of the Chinmaya Mission, we invite you to join them again tomorrow night at number 7 Vishnu Mandir, and on Tuesday, the Theatre Vigneshwar Mandir. I conclude this session by saying, may the blessings of Lord Krishna continue to be with all of us. I'll end with one of points that Panditji discussed. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for who has failed, or for those who failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Yatra yogeshwarah Krishno, yatra patur dhanurdhara, tatra shrit vijayo bhutir drvanitir matir mama. Shri Govinda Bhagavan ki jai.